Yeah, man. So Freddie Gibbs done dropped another one, man. People already saying it's the album of the year. I won't go that far because I still feel like Ransom 2 EPs is up there. But anyway, this album was dope as hell. The production that Alchemist had, and I love that how it was sequenced together. You know what I'm saying? How one song ends, and at the end of the song, you got a little skit going into the next song. I guess you call that transition. The transition from beginning to end was crazy. I love the opening track, 1985. The visual was dope as hell. You know what I mean? Got that Bernie Mac skit, in the beginning of the record. Fire. I think the features was cool. Probably the only feature I didn't really like was Rick Ross. He didn't really give me that Ross, you know what I mean, that rose type flow, that oomph that we all know Rick Ross can do, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I wasn't really fucking with that record. A couple name drops, nothing major, Doja Cat, Scotty Beam, Jeezy, the Troy Ave situation when his Maserati got shot up, you know what I mean? But probably the most lyrical song, God is Perfect, has to be. I ran that back at least 3 times because it's like, damn, he really has something to say, throughout that record. And you got Benny the Butcher, Conway, Tyler the Creator. Let's not forget that verse was fucking phenomenal. And I do realize who he was talking about. It was one of the OF members. I do remember that had dissed him at the little concert he did or whatever on Twitter. So I do believe he was talking about him. But I mean, this album was crazy. I was like, wow, you know what I mean? Look at Me was a great record. The whole album was fire, you know what I mean? Frank Lucas joint featuring Benny the Butcher, crazy. Benny doing what he doing, and it's dope that people is fucking with Benny now and starting to give him, you know, put him on certain records and certain albums, and he's showcasing his talent. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, damn, Freddie Gibbs and Benny the Butcher, shit, who gonna have a verse on that joint? I mean, Benny did what he did, but Freddie was just a animal on this project. I definitely like that. I think that is the record that he name dropped Jeezy on. I mean, he just gonna forever just have a place in his mind to where Jeezy live at, because it wasn't nothing major like a diss. You know what I mean? It just was that Jeezy was amazed that he basically was a rapping ass nigga, and Freddie was like, "Nah, I don't need no advance. I'm moving weight." Da 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 da. Whatever he had said. And I was just like, damn, that's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? But the surprise verse, like I said, Tyler Creator, something to rap about. I like this verse more than his verse on Lil Yachty album. Not saying that was a bad verse, it wasn't, but this verse, he just really had a lot to say. And I'm hoping his next album is a rapping album. I respect the Flower Boy joint. I respect Igor, which Igor was a crazy album. Once I listened to it, I see it deserved a Grammy. But he been rapping lately, very top notch, very top level. And I like how he nodded himself, said, I used to be a goblin under that bridge. I thought that was just pretty dope as well. Like, okay, Tyler on this shit. Baby Shit is definitely one of my favorite records off this joint. I love that production. It's got a few songs on here to where it's like the beat is just fucking crazy, and its flow is just goddamn. 1985 Baby Shit, Babies and Fools with Kanye was, I mean, not Kanye, but Conway was good. You know what I mean? And Babies and Fools, you get the playoff words and everything like that. That was dope. Skinny Suge, crazy record. He had a line on one of these songs where he said, bitch, I fuck up your face with a razor, or something like that. I fuck up your face with a razor and make it so your motherfucking family can't view the body, or something like that. That shit was crazy. I threw that shit on. I had to throw that out there on IG. I thought that was insane. All Glass was great. And the way he ended the album with All Glass, I thought that was like, man, I wanted the beat to be at least 3 minutes and some change. I was like, God damn, why he didn't go off on that record like he was supposed to. He went off, don't get me wrong, but it was just so short. And Skinny Suge and All Glass, just the way the last two joints was, it's like, damn, this album definitely left me wanting more. You know what I mean? And think it's like 2 albums this year, and it's like, what the fuck? How can Freddie go wrong? But he always been nice. Excuse me about that. Fucking alerts. He always been nice since the days before Jeezy signed him, and then once Jeezy signed him, like his old mixtapes, you know what I mean? His ESGN albums. like crazy. You know what I'm saying? So he always been lyrical, and I think that's the problem with Jeezy, that he didn't really fuck with Freddie like that because he wanted to say, "Oh, I did this and did that." But I just think Jeezy was kind of jealous that he was spitting and getting the critical acclaim that he was getting, and Jeezy really wasn't. But this album was crazy. It's too soon to call it album of the year. You know what I mean? Let's not get it fucked up. It's only half the year is already gone. But I will say this is definitely in the list. You know what I mean? Because it's like, damn, he dropped What's the Name last year, and then he dropped this joint. It's like, bruh, Freddie don't miss. And I'm like, okay, he good with Madlib. He's amazing with Alchemist. Who else could he work with as far as a full-length project? I would say I would like to see him with Primo. You know what I mean? And also the new cat, Nicholas Craven. Shout out to him. Him and Ransom doing some crazy shit. But I would like to see him and Nicholas Craven do a project. You know what I mean? It could be a quick EP with 5 songs, 6 songs. But I just feel like he's just on a run right now, and I don't feel he should slow down. Now, as far as visuals, I think he should do. He did 1985. I'm guessing it's a theme with it, the way he gonna do the visuals if he do more. So I wouldn't know which video he will make a song for next. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it's gonna be between Tyler, Benny, and a Conway song. But if he wanted to just go for, views, he'd probably do the Rick Ross record. But I don't feel like that's a great record to go into after 1985. You got to kind of switch it up. So I would definitely say Frank Lucas would be the record to go with. And then maybe Babies and Fools. Then end it with something to rap. And then at the end of it all, when you're done promoting the record, he got to do Skinny Suge. You know what I mean? I feel like he could split Skinny Suge and All Glass. You know how they used to do that back in the 90s and the 2000s where they do 2 songs in one video? I definitely feel like Skinny Suge and All Glass should be like the last visuals he do if he choose to do any more visuals, you know what I mean, for the project. Because sometimes these niggas throw out projects and really don't show no videos for it. You know what I mean? They don't really promote that. But other than that, man, this album is fucking crazy. I done listened to this shit since it dropped at least 7 times already. Because it's just easy. You just throw it on and just press play. You ain't got to skip no tracks on it. That's what's great about music with artists that really care about the craft. When you have an album you can just pit on and go all the way through, how could you not say that that's not a great album? That's not a solid body of work. I do feel like within time, this will be a classic project. You know what I mean? I'll give it like maybe 3 years. It's definitely a classic project. You know what I mean? His 2 joints with Madlib, definitely classics. Pinata, Bandana, classics. You know what I mean? And that's kind of crazy the way we living in the times now where something is like microwave fast food, but this shit is fire. Niggas, you can't front on this shit. It ain't a song on here you can kind of debate and say it was sorry. Nah, the only thing that's lackluster was the Rick Ross verse, in my opinion. You know what I mean? He didn't get that energy. But other than that, Alfredo is definitely dope. You know what I mean? And he kept the features to a minimum, and that's what I like. And he did his thing, man. But y'all let me know what y'all thought about the album. I just had to get my take on it. Sorry I took so long, man. Y'all be safe out there. 1.